This computer. All right. Well, thank you for joining, and I'll just start sharing my screen from here, and we'll go from there. Okay. Hey. That down. Hey. Okay. So basically, what we're going to look at tonight is prevention's better than the cure, and the reason why I want to look at this particular subject is about 5.5, 6 years ago, my wife was diagnosed with cancer, and we battled with the cancer for over 5 years. And in the process of all of that, we went through everything from chemotherapy to many other natural products as well. And I went through the experience of talking to many, many different types of doctors and things like that. So what I want to share with you tonight is what I learned in the process of all of this, and how we can possibly, sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of, there it goes, how we can possibly prevent ourselves from actually suffering from the same thing. So a clever person solves a problem. So when we go and see a doctor, the doctor is there normally to try and solve our problems. In the case of my wife, they weren't able to solve the problem. She did pass away, but I learned a lot from that. And this is where I want to come through now and try, not that I'm any wiser than anyone else, but I've learned a lot over the process, is how we can actually avoid the problem. And so what I want to look at tonight is we all carry cancer cells. The difference is whether or not those cancer cells can come together and whether they can actually take hold of the human body and then cause a problem. So what I want to look at is the humble bee, recognizing that as the cancer, because we all have hundreds of bees or ants or whatever you want to use as the metaphor, buzzing around inside our body. So we can't cure cancer in the fact that we all have cancer cells in our body. The difference is that the cancer needs a hive, sorry, the bee needs a hive to be able to establish itself in the human body. The bee also needs worker bees and drone bees to be able to A, survive, and B, create more and more and more of those cells. So think of it, whether it's a bee, I use bees because I used to have be involved with about 70 different hives when I was living in Sydney. We had them in different parts of New South Wales. And then when I moved down on the Murray River, I also had about 7 or 8 beehives. So I just love to talk about bees. I'm not here to make them sound like they're bad or anything. I just want to let you know that that's why I use that metaphor. You can call it ants or anything like that. And I'm really concerned for the life of bees in Australia at the moment and around the world. So when you see a swarm getting around, a swarm will only last about 3 days if a swarm gets out there. So if a queen bee moves into the bushes, it'll only survive about 2 or 3 days outside of a hive. So what's the other metaphor for cancer is the tumor cells is like a swarm. So another one over there. If I can just get people to mute whoever's not muted, if that's possible, out there. So that would be great. Thank you. So the tumor cell is when we've got all the bees coming together. It's when they get into the beehive is when it joins in with the blood vessels. So when we look at the beehive, what is the beehive in the human body? So we're going to look at the metaphor of the beehive is when we get inflammation throughout the body. Now, what I'll do is I'll just expand that up a bit bigger for us. So when inflammation gets in the body, this is what we call the beehive in the human body. So whether or not it's part of the muscles, whether it's in the bone, it's in the skin, the thyroid is a common place. In the lungs is becoming more common. The gut is certainly we hear about colon cancer and things like that. The kidneys is also common, and the liver, and where it actually finally got my wife was actually in the brain. So if we have inflammation throughout the body, then we've created a hive for our queen bee to get connected to. Now, that's okay if there's no worker bees around her or there's no other cells around her that are causing a problem. But when we get the combination of the two together, whether it's in those parts of the body or the worker bees can get a combination happening, that's when it becomes a problem. So what is the worker bees that cause the cancer to take hold? Well, when we look at a tomato, if it is left outside, it's not connected to the vine, it's struggling, it then oxidizes, and that oxidized stress then becomes the problem in the human body. So what we've got to look at is how can we prevent the inflammation happening in the body? And then how can we prevent the oxidized stress throughout the body? And this is where, when I became involved with a company called doTERRA, I learned that there's different ways that we can prevent that from happening. So what we've got to look at is what do we eat? What are we eating? Is it healthy for the human body? Are we being overly stressed from things that are going around around us? Are we making choices in our life that create a difference in our health? Now, I've put the notice up there because I found a beautiful place here in Tasmania where you go through a property into a World Heritage area, and it is just absolutely amazing. So my choice is I prefer to head to healthy food and clean living, heading into heritage areas rather than being overly stressed with what's going on. And these are just some of the choices that we can make. The second thing is what we've got to look at is the foods that we eat, are they made up of alkaline foods or are they made up of acidic foods? So the acidic is causing the inflammation. The alkaline helps the body to be able to overcome inflammation. The other thing is the human body is made up of an enormous amount of water. Now, if that water is dirty, then that becomes a problem as well. And if the water's dirty, then we can't be flushing out those toxins through the body as well. So when we start looking at, well, we've got plants are alkaline and the human body's made up of a lot of water, then when we look at things like essential oils, they are made up of water and they are also made up of alkaline things in the tree. So what I did was when I looked at this company called doTERRA, they were extracting these essential oils from the plants. And the volatile oils from the plants are then put into capsules, which then we can take as you follow the yellow line. We can orally take them, we can apply them to the skin, or we can diffuse them. But we're going to talk tonight about how we can orally take them. They can head down into the digestive tract. Then they're separated into the circulation, into the bloodstream. They head then into all of our organs, our joints, out onto the skin, and then they exit through the body. So when that actually happens, then that's when we can be healthy. So I chose doTERRA as the company that I wanted to use their particular products. And the reason being is that they've well over 50 types of tests that they do to make sure that they are pure, that they are clean. And because of that, they're now using them in hospitals, and they're a very trusted company. They source directly from the farmers, and they help those farmers stay sustainable by paying them properly and caring for the people. And as we see under number 3, the co-impact sourcing. So they go in and they make sure that they're sourcing them the proper way and helping the people that are in developing countries. And then the company is debt-free, so I know that if I buy the products, I'm actually going to receive them. And they're now in well over 120 markets around the world. Click, there it is. So the first one I want to look at tonight is a product called DDR Prime. So DDR Prime has the frankincense oil in it. So the Boswellia is the plant name. This is all to do with the cells of the body being healthy. And then we look across at lemongrass. Lemongrass is very good for inflammation. And then we've got neroli that also supports the antioxidants, or the making sure that the cells are healthy. Clove also does the same thing, especially around the heart, as we looked at earlier in the pictures. Thyme oil, again, this is all about the immune system, the antioxidant side of it. And then Litsea is also an antioxidant. So when we look at what DDR Prime has, it's got a combination of different products in it that can help with the body. Now, the DDR Prime comes in an oil from America, or from Melbourne, we can get the DDR Prime in a capsule. And there's lots and lots of different PubMed publications around your things like your frankincense, your lemongrass, your orange. All of those are explaining the benefits of those when it comes to preventing the damage to our DNA, the oxidized stress in the human body, and then helping the inflammation through things, as we say, like with the lemongrass and things like that. So what are the benefits of DDR Prime? It's a soft gel, so it's very easy to take, and helps the immune system. It promotes the response from the free radicals, so that we can actually clear those dying cells out of the body, and then the body can healthily respond to the stresses of that. So the next one of my favorite, that's a fairly new product to doTERRA, is the turmeric. And we know that it can actually help with the free radicals around the human body. But the main thing I want to look at is it can help decrease and relieve those aches in the bones, or as we call them, aches and pains in the joints of the bone. Around things like arthritis, osteoarthritis. It can help reduce the swelling around the joints and things like that. And when you've got that soreness happening in the joints and in the muscles around those bones, due to the arthritis, it's brilliant for helping that. Now, how does it do that? Now, I know this is a lot of writing on the screen, but I would just want to read this out, because this is incredible what this company has been able to do with joining the two, both the essential oil and the curcumin from the turmeric. And it says, so doTERRA is the first company to combine the certified pure tested grade turmeric essential oil and the turmeric extract in a dual chamber capsule. Sorry, I'm just going to grab my glasses so I can actually read this. This product creates a powerful synergy of terpenoids and curcumoids maximizing the effectiveness and the benefit of both compounds towards a healthy inflammatory response. Research shows that curcumoids have a poor bioavailability. Sorry. Now, what that means is that the body really struggles to absorb the product into the body. Now, because of that, what they've done is that by the increases, when you combine the terminoids in the turmeric essential oil and the dual chamber capsules are unique. So by combining not only the powder with the essential oil, it has a unique combination key ingredient together in one convenient delivery system that results in better absorption. Unlike other products, this combined turmeric extract with agents like black pepper extract. So what we've been trying to do is put black pepper in there because of the products that are in black pepper to be able to absorb more of the turmeric. Because they've been able to combine these two together, we're getting far more response. I think it's 4 to 5 times better absorption rate is what I understand. So I stand to be corrected on that though. Okay, so alongside of a healthy diet, regular exercise, and solid sleep, something I'm missing out on at the moment, turmeric dual capsules add a natural 1-2 punch in the fight against free radicals and promotion of healthy inflammatory response. So what we're finding is because of the way they brought them together, we're getting a far better response to how we absorb it. And I personally can say that with the issues that I've had in my knees because of my past, this is certainly one product I cannot do without anymore. The next one I want to look at is cannabinoids. So cannabinoids, we can get that in a CBD, in THC, and in BCP. And you'll see their acronyms for the words below. So a lot of people say to me, hey, have you got cannabinoids? Cannabis, marijuana, all of these sorts of things. What we're going to look at tonight is what's the difference between the three and which one is the best one for you to take. And the difference between the three is that the CB1 receptors is all about the brain and causing brain fog, whereas the CB2 receptors, it actually relaxes that nervous system that is down through the spinal system and through all of your immune and endocrine and all of those sorts of things. So CBD oil presents low qualities, if any, that's going to affect the CB1 receptors, and it doesn't have a lot of response to the CB2 receptors. THC oil interacts with CB1 and CB2, but then when it's interacting with the brain, you get all this brain fog and all the issues with that. Then when we come to beta-caroline phyline, it doesn't interact with the CB1, with the brain, but it has the same benefits as cannabis oils, but it works directly with the CB2 receptors. So what do we need to look for that have the beta-caroline in it? When we look at that, everything from juniper berry, helichrysum, clove, ylang-ylang, melissa, one of my favorite oils, black pepper. This is why they put it in with the turmeric. But we've got a product called Copaiba that is 52% cannabinoids. Now, your hemp oils and your marijuana fit somewhere around between the melissa and the black pepper area, depending on what plant and how it's grown and all those sorts of things. So here we have a product that is more than twice the strength of your cannabinoids, of your marijuana and hemp oil. So this is why we have looked at Copaiba, and now we actually have that available here in Australia. You can purchase it from the Melbourne office or through us. So this is what we can benefit from. Copaiba oil provides the internal benefits of Copaiba is a convenient, easy to swallow soft gel. Supports the cardiovascular system, the immune system, the digestive system. It's a powerful antioxidant, and it soothes and supports all of the nervous system. So when you've got those aches and pains, when you've got that antioxidant requirement, here we have it now, finally in a soft gel capsule. We talked extensively last week about the lifelong vitality. I believe this is your first port of call, and the three that we've just looked at, you can combine that with them and use that as your second port of call. Or for me, I have to take the turmeric and the copaiba as well, and I quite often take the DDR Prime, especially around this time of the year. So last week's presentation was all about the omega-3s, the multivitamins, and the glycoproteins in the CRS. Now, the omega-3s certainly need that for transportation of your vitamin Ds and your brain health and your muscle health and everything like that. So if you missed out on that last week, it is recorded. I will be doing a fresh recording of it because I did miss one or two important points in last week's presentation. But if in the meantime, jump on last week's presentation and learn all about the lifelong vitality. So how do we get hold of these different products? So the DDR Prime is approximately $103. The turmeric is around the $87. The copaiba is around $78, with a total price of $268. What we can help you with tonight is that we can get the whole lot for $200, including free postage. If you have an account with the company, that's what you'll be able to get that for. If you haven't got an account with the company, if you can get back to the person that spoke with you about that, and they will organize for you to be able to get that. Now, tonight, because you've come on this call, tonight, if you do set up an account and get those three products with whoever got you onto the call, we'll be able to throw in a free MetaPower product as well. Now, this also helps with your digestion so that you can absorb these things correctly and help with your body. They also help with the way that your digestive body works with the fat cells and how you ingest things, especially carbohydrates. This has been an absolutely fantastic product when you have it with your largest carbohydrate meal throughout the day. And personally, I actually like to diffuse it because of the grapefruit and the peppermint that's in there, and it just gives a really nice scent through the house, a refreshing smell throughout the house as well. So there's three different ways that you can purchase these things. Quite obviously, you can retail purchase them, but this is the most expensive way to do it. The smartest way to purchase the products is through a wholesale account. Purchasing them similar to what they do with Costco, and you'll be able to get it for 25% off the regular retail price. There is a $35 setup fee to do that. If you do purchase the three oils in the first go, we can waiver that $35, and we can also throw in that the bottle of MetaPower product with your wholesale account. And this means then for the next 12 months, you'll be able to purchase anything from the doTERRA account with the 25% off, and you'll also be able to accumulate some points, which is a little bit like Costco again, and be able to reclaim those points as you purchase along the way. There's plenty of different things that we have, from essential oils to rubs to diffusers, that also help with your sleep, with your exercise, with cleaning, with meditation and relaxation. When we're eating, as we just talked about with MetaPower, there's products for children as well. And there's lots of information that we can share with you through many different apps along the way. There's also a way that you can help cover the cost of your products as well. Or also, if you want to actually do it as a business, we're here to support you to do that. Because who doesn't need a little bit of extra income month by month as things get a little bit tougher on a daily basis? More than happy to talk to you about that as well as we go along your path of whichever direction you would like to go with this. So thank you very much for coming on tonight. I'll stop sharing my page and we'll open up for tonight for you to be able to ask any questions or such like. So I'll stop the recording now and